right. See, this took me to
I was taking you to a different zone.
kind of, but all right. Well, I believe I should be live here on YouTube, and hopefully you all can hear me okay. And I am getting all set up here. I am coming from the home location once again, and I am looking forward to having a great session here today. So I want to make sure letting some of you all log in. All of you are good. Make sure I can see some of you that may be chatting. But I am here on location at home, back in the backyard, and we are talking about a wonderful topic today. And I want you to really consider, there's a lot of times we want to see people do things that we want them, to do, like buy our product, buy our service. We want people to maybe listen to us. So I see some of you coming in. Again, please drop in there. Make sure, let me know you can hear me okay, see me okay, because I got a little bit of a different setup here today. But a lot of times, we want people to do things that we want them to do. We want people to, spend money with us. We want people to do all these different things. But the difference is there is something that is very critical to understand about really getting people to do things, getting people to change. And not only thinking about when you want to get people to do those things, but I want you to think about yourself. There's things that you want to do. There's things that you want to accomplish. And when you think about why or why not, you've not been able to get that thing done, accomplish that goal, lose that weight, accomplish that thing in business, be able to strive for that particular health goal, being able to, accomplish that something you want to do by the end of the month, the end of the quarter, the end of the year. There's some specific things that I want you to really be aware of and I want you to know about. Because let me tell you a big, big secret, right? And I want you to really listen closely on this. Let me tell you a big secret, okay? And this is something that, I want you to really remember, if you don't remember nothing else from this session here today, is that people do what they want to do. Now, I know that seems really simple. I know that seems like, well, that's, duh, right? No, a lot of times we don't really realize that people only do what they want to do. So with that understanding, there's some specific things that we have to really garner and really get with respect to what are we actually trying to do. We're trying to get people to do something they don't want to do. And whether that's getting a product they don't want, a service they don't want, go somewhere they don't want to go, do something they don't want to do. And a lot of times when we think about this, very prevalent with entrepreneurs, everyone's trying to get someone to believe in them, to believe in what they're doing, believe in what they're about, believe in what they're trying to deliver. And there's a distinction. And I'm going to go to my whiteboard for a minute and test out my whiteboard that everything's working well here on location. Again, we have a little bit different setup here. I am in the backyard at home, but we are going to have a good time here today. So I want you to understand the difference between, I want me a little bit bigger pen here. So there's a difference in these two words that I really want you to understand. So one word is convince. Okay. And then the other word is persuade. Okay. So convince and persuade are not the same. Convince and persuade are two different things. They're actually opposite of each other. And I want you to understand that convince is attempting to get someone to do something. And here's the key: for your purposes. I mean, that is really, really key. I'm going to underline that: for your purposes. So when I am convincing someone, I'm trying to get them to do something for my personal purposes, whatever it is that benefits me, be it selling my product, my service, getting them to do the thing that makes my life better, makes me happier. That's where you see convincing. Sometimes you'll see a child that does this when they're really trying to convince their parents to buy them something, right? And they're doing everything they can to attempt to get someone to do something for their purposes, right? So very different. When we talk about persuading, right, it's kind of similar, but it's different. This is attempting to get someone to do something. Again, it's very similar. Here's the key: for their purposes, right? So this what makes this, completely opposite. Is persuading is I'm actually trying to get you to do something for your purposes. And that's what we want to do. And this is where people make a distinction about sales. Now, which one of these do you feel should be what sales is doing, right? So is this actually sales, or is this actually sales, right? So actually, convincing is not what we want to do. And this is where people make a big mistake. They think that's selling. And that's some of the experiences that we don't like. And that's one of the reasons most people say, I hate to sell. I don't want to sell. I don't like being sold. Yeah, but you buy it. Someone sold you the best things that you like and all the things that you care about. Someone sold it to you. If it wasn't for sales, no one would have anything. Sales is not the enemy. The problem is that people don't actually sell the right way. And because a lot of people have been taught to try to convince someone to get something they don't really need for their own purposes, we've had a bad experience with sales. But when people actually persuade you to get something that is for your own purpose, we love it, right? When it's really something that we really need. So we have to know that distinction. So this is very important back to the truth that we're talking about today. We're talking about a clear truth of, how to really get the things that we want in life. And that is really by having an understanding of people really do what they want to do. So I want you to keep in mind, I've worked with a lot of entrepreneurs. I've worked with a lot of individuals trying to help them maybe in their personal lives. I've done a lot of different things in the community as an entrepreneur, as a minister, as someone who pretty much all my life has been trying to get people to do better, and whether that's in life or in business. And so I want you to understand that one of the critical things to really get, and this is in a relationship, anything, you just can't get someone to do something that they don't really want to do. Now, you can try to force someone, but that is not really, well, what is that? I mean, it's not jail or prison. It's not something where there is people who get people to do things they don't want to do. Police officers, things like that. You have to do it, right? But I'm talking about when it comes to something that you want someone to really rally behind, and something someone's going to do consistently, and something that's going to be meaningful. And if you really want that type of relationship with individuals, be it customers, be it people, be it individuals you love or like, you have to understand that no one is going to do what they don't want to do. And I think Maya Angelou said it best: when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And so we must understand who a person is, and we must understand where people are. And I think that one of the big misconceptions about some of the things that all of us want to accomplish, including you, is that you think that you just need to try harder to maybe do the thing you want to do so that you could have the thing that you want to have. And you don't really see that it's not necessarily trying harder. It's actually, you need to change who you are and what your focus is. And let me explain to you about that. So this is, again, talking about how to have the things that you want. I'm going to go back here for a minute, and let's get back to my whiteboard for a minute. And I want you to think a little bit about how, let's say this, let me get my here. So I want you to really think about this. This is a really deep thought. is, let's say that, this is you here, right? And so you're standing here on this platform and you're thinking about the future, right? And so as you're here and you're starting to think about, what you want to do, and this is, let's say this is now, and then let's think about you over here, right? Here you got a big smile, and this is you, here in the future. Now, I want you to think about, for a minute something that you want to be, achieve in the future, right? So, over here we think about the things that we want, right? We think about goals, right? We think about things we want to achieve, okay? And I want you to think about that, whatever that is. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to, run a marathon. I want to build $1 million business, whatever that is. So, whatever that is and whatever that is like, there's this future, place you want to be in, this future person you want to be, right? And so when you think about that, the distance between those two areas there, right, is the actions that we take, right? What we do. Okay. Now, what I want you to think about is the person, right? The person that you are when you get to this future point is different than the person that you are right now. So no doubt when you get to that future person, there's a level of skill set, there's a level of mindset, there's a level of focus, there's a level of belief, there's a level of faith, there's a level of courage that is in that future person, because that future person has achieved the thing that they actually wanted to achieve. If you desire to make $1 million this year, you're going to feel better and different at the end of the year when you really accomplish that goal, right? So that is a different person who's achieved that. If you worked hard to lose that weight, if you worked hard to, meet that health goal, that person that you would be at the point that that goal is reached is a different person. So I really want you to get that. There's a different set of thoughts, a different set of focuses that individual has that has become that. So the secret is, a lot of times everyone just focuses on this middle part, right? All the actions I need to take to have the thing that I want. But they miss that the person that is in the future, you must start to get some of their ingredients now, today, right? So I have to start changing my thinking so that I begin to become the person that I will be today in my mind, so that I will take the actions that I need to take that actually create that person I want to be. So I hope you can see that. Until I get the mindset and the dedication of that person who already has achieved it, I will never be able to do the things required to have the things that I want. So I hope you can really see this. This is so important. And let me just take a quick moment here. So I really want you to see this, I really want you to get this, is that you cannot have a mind of the past and think you're going to take actions to create the future that you're looking for. It is impossible for you to remain who you are and then create that other person over there that is able to generate all of these results that you want. And this is why most people never change. So they end up doing a lot of stuff, trying a lot of things. If you've seen people, for example, trying to help with their health, and they go from one program to another, right? And they go to this program and that program and this program and that program, and they're never able to stick with it because they're taking the same person with the same mindset to each program, right? And because of that, they think the thing should have changed them, not realizing there is some change you have to make to even make that ultimate change, to do the things that let you have what you want. So you have to really understand that because people do what they want to do, I have to actually deal with this person who wants to do something that's not best for them, right? If I'm going to really have the things that I want, I've got to deal with this person who is used to doing the things that's not best for them to start thinking about how to become the person that will do the things that lead me to what I want to become. So this is why when you're dealing with products and services and things of that sort, you have to spend more time not trying to tell everyone about how great your product is, but helping someone get in the mindset and in the belief that is necessary for them to be the person who can benefit from your product or service. And this is why, again, you waste so much time trying to get someone to do something that they're not that person yet who wants that, right? They don't even believe that yet. So let's go deeper into that in terms of what do I mean there. So let's go back here and I want you to see there is a process. So there is the mind you have dictating thoughts you get, which dictates feelings, which dictates the actions, which dictates the results. Okay, so this is very important, and I hope all of you can see this, right? We've got 5 key focuses here, right? And I want you to keep in mind, what do we all want? What are we all looking for? Well, absolutely. We're all looking for the result. That's what we want. But I want you to understand, a lot of times to get results, we think about all the actions we can take. So we can go get, we can try new programs, right? We can try new events, right? We can work with different people, right? We can achieve certain things, like go get a certificate in something, right? So all these things, we can do some level of it. But the big issue is sometimes the result that we want, right, is disconnected from the person that we are, right? So who I am, I want to have $1 million company, but I'm not a person that has the mindset of someone who can build $1 million company, right? I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the skill set. I don't have the things that I need. And I can't get those things because I don't have within me the mindset that even believes I can really do that. And it shows up in the actions that I take are all these other things that are not related to who I want to become. So this is why the first thing we have to deal with, and it's so critical, is we've got to deal with the mind. Now, I want you to understand something. When we think about the brain, and this is a deeper discussion for another day, right? And the brain is really where we have just constant thoughts all the time, right? Constant thoughts. Another way of looking at the mind is my focus, right? Because there is like my conscious and my subconscious. We get into deeper, discussions about the body versus the soul. There's a lot of deeper discussions here that I won't go into, but you choose, right? This is what I mean by mind, is you choose where you focus, right? And focus has to also do with intention. Okay. So when I begin to focus on something and I begin to make it my intention, then what happens is I get different types of thoughts. So I want you to see that focus and intention on a particular thing will give me certain types of thoughts. And I want you to see the connection here, because if my focus and intention is going to fill my brain with different types of thoughts, those thoughts then generate certain types of feelings. which is going to generate new actions, which gets me new results, right? So this is really critical, because you have to become the person first by starting to change your intent. Now, what am I talking about here? Now, I know this seems pretty, you wonder kind of how's this related? I want you to understand this. So you cannot, let's take a person who says they want to grow their business, they want to be more successful. But if you follow them around and you watch how much television they watch, you watch how often they're on social media just playing around, you watch how much time is spent doing things not related to where they're trying to go. Their intention and focus is on something else. So even though they're doing all this activity, they show up to work and they're doing this in their business, they're not thinking and working on things that actually take their business to the next level. They're not getting around people that take them higher, that expand their knowledge, expand their mastery. They're not putting the energy in to grow deeper. See, sometimes people think they have a lot of experience, but they're not really growing. It's like somebody who, let's say, someone who's a landscaper, and they say, I've got 30 years of experience doing landscaping, right? But really what that means is they got like 2 years of landscaping experience, and they just been doing the same thing for 28 years, right? Because it doesn't take that long to learn how to do some of the things they're doing. There's a point where there's not growth there. There's just repetition of doing what you've always done. So this is where we have to get very careful, is we can get stagnant in our life, in our business, in our career. And we think that we're piling up, wisdom and knowledge just because we're living and we're doing the same things, and we're patting ourselves on the back at how good we do this thing that we've always done, but you're not growing. So because that your intention and your mindset is not on things that create growth, this is the reason you can't get to those things you really want to have that are greater than who you are now. So before I can get to those things that are greater than me, I have to change my mindset and my focus, and I have to start doing things that lead to the growth that will allow me to have those things that I want. I hope you can really see this. So until I change my focus and intention, right, then I'm not going to have the right thoughts that lead to the right feelings and actions that get me those bigger results. So this is why we have to look at, where is our focus? Because people only do what they want to do. And for me to change what I want to do, I've got to start focusing on something that is higher, that is broader, that is allowing me to grow. And by focusing on that thing that is higher and wider and causing me to grow, now I started to get new thoughts, right? Because there was thoughts I could have never had I not got exposed to more knowledge, more wisdom, more experience, something that took me further. If I never got exposed to something, this is why so many people end up stuck. They're not willing to take chances and to move deeper and to invest in themselves, right? And that's why they stay where they're at. And you want this bigger thing, but you're not willing to do bigger things. See, that's the problem, because you're still the same person. You're a person that's dreaming, right? Versus becoming the person of your dreams. That's what we have to do. And how do I do that? Through my intention, through my focus. And how can I see my focus? I'm looking at, what is my mindset on? What am I actually doing, right? I have to put my mind on things that is pushing me beyond who I am now. I have to think like the person who has already done the thing that I'm trying to do. I've got to already have that mindset of being a millionaire, of having that business built. If you had that business that you wanted, would you be who you are today? With so much of your time go where it is going today? If you really want to meet those health goals, how often are you thinking about the things that the person would who is already committed to meeting those health goals? You have to become that. And when you're focusing intention, let me go back. When you're focusing your intention, right? When my mind and my focus and my intention starts to create those thoughts, my feelings become different. Those feelings of thinking that I can't start to change, right? Because never forget, both faith and doubt, right? Both of these are belief systems. One is believing that you can. One is believing that you can't. So we have to embrace that I have to become a different person, right? So that I have more belief that I can, because of the focus that I have, and is leading to new thoughts that actually generate new feelings, actions, and results. So I hope you all really see this. People only do what they want to do. And that's why if you really want to get results and achieve anything in your life, you have to become the person first, then start to do and start to act. See, let me tell you a secret before we go. And again, if you're new here to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe and comment and, hit that like button. If you here, hit that like button right here while you're here right now, or share, do all those things. Help us, help people out there that need to hear this, right? And come back here to this and share some things with me about, even if you're watching this on a replay, put something in the comments about how this may have helped you and made you think deeper about some of the things you want to accomplish and how you can approach it differently. So I want you to remember this. A person that is just doing stuff and not focus on becoming the person that they need to be to have what they want, that person will do all these different things, right? And never get to the result they're looking for, right? No matter what. You can even put the thing in front of them that they need to do. And even though they feel like they're doing a lot, and I can put the thing in front of them and say, but here's what you really need to do. They can't do that because they're not that person yet. Because when they see what's required to do that, they say, well, I'm doing this over here. I don't want to do that. Yeah, but this is what you need to do to get there. Say, but I don't want to do that. And the reason they can't see it is they're not the person yet. They haven't become that. Like once you become the person and you realize what you need to do to get somewhere, you don't see it as a big deal. You don't see it as big investment in your time, your money, your energy. It all makes sense because you're the person who really wants to get there, right? So an athlete who really wants to be good at that and they've become the person who wants to be a good athlete, they don't stagger when they have to lift weights that long and eat that way and sacrifice those things. Why? They've already become the person who's committed to that goal. But if you're not that person and you're playing at the playground and someone starts giving you all these requirements to eat different, do all that, you say, look, I like playing, but not like that. Like, I like playing on the playground, right? I didn't want to, like, what's all this? Like, I love basketball, I like football, but not like this. Well, they're not the person yet. So no matter what you put in front of them and say, if you want to jump higher, run faster, do that, say, well, I'm not the person yet willing to do that, right? So we have to become that person. On the flip side, if you become the person and yet you don't know what to do, there's nothing I could do to stop you from finding out what to do, because once you become the person, you won't let anything stop you from finding out what you need to do, doing it, and then getting the results you want, because you are that person now that really wants to achieve that. As you've heard me say many times, you don't have to teach an apple to be an apple. You don't have to teach an orange to be an orange. You don't have to teach a watermelon to be a watermelon. You don't have to teach any vegetable to be a vegetable, because that's the seed that it came from. It is that. So it's going to create everything. It's going to move things out of the way. It's like a child coming forth. It wants to come out of the womb. It's going to do everything it can to survive, because it is becoming what it is. So when you focus, so where does this all begin? Right up here. You'll never get what you want until you change who you are. And you can't change who you are until you change what you're focusing on. And what you focus on will lead to the right thoughts, it leads to the right feelings, and help you do the right actions so that you can get the things that you really want and the results in life. I hope you all enjoyed this on this another episode here on YouTube. I am Michael E. Parker, and I am so grateful to be here with you on this great day. And I hope you all enjoying the scenery and just being outside with me here today, just mixing it up here and there. And I really want to push all of you to make sure you think deeper. Stop talking about what you want to have and start focusing on who you need to be so that you can have the things that you want. I'll see you next time. Michael E. Parker, signing out.